Assalamu alaikum class, first year morning, first year evening. Today I am here to deliver you another new topic, that is the specialized connective tissue for your lab demonstration. And the specialized connective tissue basically include the cartilage, bone and the blood. So we are going to study it in this practical. So I am starting with the introduction of the specialized connective tissue. Basically, there are two major forms of the connective tissue. Number one is the supportive connective tissue and number two is the fluid connective tissue. The supportive connective tissue include the bones and the cartilage, which helps to maintain the posture and to protect the internal organs. And the fluid connective tissue include the blood and the lymph, and they are basically the type of the fluid connective tissue. So here I am starting with the supportive connective tissue, which include the bone and the cartilage. So what do you mean by cartilage? Basically, the cartilage is a network of the closely packed collagen fibers and the elastic fibers. It has a distinctive appearance due to the presence of the polysaccharides, which is known as the chondroitin sulfates. This chondroitin sulfate bind to the ground substance and the protein fibers to form the proteoglycans. And within the cartilage matrix, there are the cells which are known as the chondrocytes, or these are the cartilage cells, and they fill the space within the cartilage matrix. That space is known as the lacuna. Cartilaginous tissue is basically avascular, and so thus all the nutrients have to diffuse through the matrix to reach to the chondrocytes and provide energy to them to grow. So what is the classification of cartilage? We classify the cartilage into three tissues. Number one is the hyaline cartilage, number two is the fibrocartilage, and number three is the elastic cartilage. I am starting with the hyaline cartilage over here. Hyaline cartilage is a cartilage which is bluish white in color, and it consists of the short and the dispersed collagen fibers, and it also contains the large amount of the proteoglycans, which is the mixture of the carbohydrates and the protein fibers. And the location of the hyaline cartilage is in the rib cage and in the nose, and it also covers the bone which meet the movable joints. And it also makes the embryonic skeleton before the bone formation. When the bones start to form in the embryo, the hyaline cartilage develop a template of those bones in the embryonic skeleton. And the plate of the hyaline cartilage at the end of the bones basically allow the growth of the bones until the adulthood. And function of the hyaline cartilage is to provide flexibility and support to the joints for the movement. The second type of cartilage is the fibrocartilage, which is the strongest form of cartilage. And fibrocartilage is tough in nature, or it has a thick bundle of collagen fibers which are dispersed through the matrix, and its location is within the knees and jaw joints, and also present in the invertebral disc, and it covers and protects the bony structures of the body. The third type of cartilage is the elastic cartilage. In this type of cartilage, the chondrocytes or the cartilage cells are embedded in the thread-like network of elastic fibers within the extracellular matrix. And this tissue gives the rigid support as well as the elasticity due to the presence of the elastic fibers in it. The example of the elastic fiber is that if you gently tug your earlobe, you will notice that the lobes will return to their initial position or shape. Uh, Basically, this happens due to the presence of the elastic cartilage. So it is located in the pinna of the ear and top of the larynx. And the function of the elastic cartilage is to provide strength and elasticity and maintain the shape of certain organs such as the external ear. The second supportive connective tissue is bone. Like the other connective tissue, bone also consists of cells, fibers, and the ground substance. But in addition to that, the extracellular component also contain the minute crystals of calcium phosphates in the form of the mineral hydroxyapatite. And this mineralization of the matrix is responsible for the hardness of the bone. The osteocytes or the bone cells are the cells of the bone, like the chondrocytes, which are the cells of the cartilage, and osteocytes are also located within the lacuna. The function of the bone in the body is to provide support the internal organ, to protect the vital organ, to store the minerals or to store the calcium, and it enables the movement of the joints or it enables the movement of the skeleton, and it provide attachment sites for the muscles and the tendons. The second type of the specialized connective tissue is the fluid connective tissue, which include the blood and the lymph. So I am starting with the details of the blood. The cells circulate in the liquid extracellular matrix in the blood. The blood cells are circulated in the liquid extracellular matrix, and the extracellular matrix is also known as the blood plasma, which mostly contain the water, and in which the wide variety of dissolved substances are present, and these dissolved substances are nutrients, waste products, and the enzymes, plasma proteins, hormones, respiratory gases, and ions, etc. The formed elements are suspended in the blood plasma. These formed elements are known as the cells of the blood, which include the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. The formed elements circulate in the blood, and they are derived from the hematopoietic stem cells located in the bone marrow. There are the hematopoietic stem cells which are present in the bone marrow, from which the formed elements or the blood cells are formed, such as the RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. There are three types of blood cells. Number one is the RBCs, which are also known as the erythrocytes. They help in the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood. And second type of blood cell is the WBCs or white blood cells, which are also known as the leukocytes. They are responsible for the defense mechanism or for the immune system of the body, and they provide defense to the body from the potential harmful organisms and molecules. And some white blood cells also have the ability to cross the endothelial layer, which lines the blood vessels. And after that they enter the adjacent tissues. So the nutrients, salts, and the waste are dissolved in the liquid matrix of the adjacent tissue and transported through the body. So they basically helps in the transportation of nutrients, salts, and waste products to remove them from the body. And third type of cell is platelets. And the platelets are the cells which helps in the clotting of the blood. The second type of the fluid connective tissue is lymph. Lymph contain the liquid extracellular matrix and the white blood cells, which are also known as the lymphocytes. Actually, the lymphatic capillaries are extremely permeable to the large molecules, which it allows the large molecule to enter it from the interstitial spaces, and from the larger molecules from the interstitial spaces can enter the lymphatic vessels due to the extreme permeability of the lymphatic capillaries. The lymph then drains into the blood vessels and deliver those large molecules to the blood that could not otherwise directly enter the bloodstream. So in this way, the specialized lymphatic capillaries transport the absorbed fats away from the intestine and deliver those fat molecules to the blood. So we have successfully studied the specialized connective tissue in this presentation. If you have any questions regarding it, you can ask me anytime. Thank you.